Hello viewers, and welcome back to another video. Just a quick show and tell video today on one of my favourite gadgets of the late 1970s, early 80s, the TV clock radio. You have one of these on your bedside table normally. I should imagine they were quite a lot of money back in the day. This model ranges from around about 1978. It's made by Sharp, and it's made in Japan as well. Back in the late 70s and early 80s, quite a lot of these kind of things were made in Japan. This one's in white. It has a little black and white TV built in, along with a FM and AM radio and a red LED clock. In a moment we'll take a quick look around the unit and have a look at some of its functions. Unfortunately, my example here is not quite working right. The TV side, while the tube is still powering up okay, the picture's not stable. I'll demonstrate that now. I've got my Commodore VIC-20 plugged in the back via RF, but as you can see there, the picture's not quite right. No matter how much I fiddle with the horizontal and vertical hold and the tuning, I can never really get it any better than that. And sometimes it will roll from left to right and up and down. I'm hoping that it's just something simple, and some contact cleaner maybe will clean the contacts in a moment and see if that has any effect. If failing that, we'll open it up obviously to see that, and we'll also have a look around at the capacitors. This is getting on a bit now, it's nearly as old as me. So hopefully it's just something simple as a couple of capacitors that need changing. Usually they're bulging, or you can see that they've leaked. So we'll have a look around the unit next, and then we'll pop the lid off and have a look inside. So let's have a look at some of the features and some of the controls you have. So that's your TV tuning dial there, radio on off or TV. Let's just try the radio quickly. On the top there you've got a little radio light. They're not showing up, you can just about see it, to illuminate your display for nighttime use. As you can hear that actually. I think that pot needs a bit of a clean. I haven't got an aerial plugged into it, so it's doing well to pick up anything at all down here actually. You've also got AM as well. Again, I've got no aerial plugged in, so I'm not going to pick... Oh, I did pick up something then. And what else have you got here? Oh, FM, AFC. So obviously that's your radio tuning volume that I've already demonstrated. So here's a look at the top of it for the clock. You've got auto on off, which will be for the alarm. Dimmer switch, that dims the clock brightness down. Sleep button, setting the time very easy. You just put your finger on the time button and press fast or slow, and it will zap through the segments to get the time you want. And then you've got a snooze wake button. Haven't tried the snooze wake or the alarm on it yet, but I don't see why it wouldn't work. So on its right side there you've got an earphone socket. I should imagine that'll be monaural sound. And then round the back you've got your mains on-off switch there. ID badge with the model number, Sharp 5T-20H. There was a few variants of this machine made over the years, and model numbers do vary from country to country. Antenna input there, European antenna input, obviously that would be different for America and Japan. And then you've got your horizontal hold, vertical hold, brightness and contrast. Around on the left side of the unit there was nothing, just a couple of retro stickers. And then you've got your telescopic area on the back there, which will probably be for TV and radio. Obviously analog is now gone, so you have to use the RF input or get yourself one of those composite video modulators. So we'll have a look inside of it now and see if we can spot anything wrong with it. Okay, so let's have a look inside. I can immediately see 3 screws on the back there, 3 Phillips screws, so we'll take them out first. Interesting fact actually about Phillips screws, I didn't know until very recently that it wasn't Philips themselves, the European electronics company, that made Phillips screws. It's actually another company called Philips. It's funny what you assume over the years. One thing to note actually, I will mention, if you're thinking of opening up one of these old TVs, don't let the small screen of 5 inches fool you. 5 inches of a CRT screen can still carry a high voltage and give you quite a whack. So always open them up cautiously. It's even got little arrows showing you which ones to undo for the main case rig, I guess. Thought only Sony did that. It must be those two there as well. Thought they might have been for the front bezel. There we go. Is this going to be it? Not quite. Let's just take the controls off, because sometimes the inside can lift off minus the controls. Oh, last bit of power left in it then, did you hear that? There's a radio coming on. Well, the only other thing I can think of now is the antenna panel. I have had that before actually, on a TV I think years ago. Hopefully it's not going to be a nut that drops off on the inside. Right, is that it now? Feels like it is. There we go. So the top is still attached electronically to the bottom, and there's no plug-in wires either. Don't know if you can quite see in there. Well, here's the insides of it. Very dusty in there. That's the pots there that I shall use some contact cleaner on. And there's the back of the tube. Obviously CRT sets can still hold a charge even after being switched off for a week, so make sure you stay clear of that unless you know what you're doing, because you can discharge the tube to make it safe to work on. Right, I'll try and get the lid off now and we'll have a closer look inside. Okay, I managed to get the lid off in the end. Turns out that the cables for the top there actually unplug, along with the light sensor switch and something else, the speakers, that was it, the speaker cable was just there. Anyway, I've just cleaned the contacts for the vertical hold and horizontal hold, contrast and brightness, and lo and behold, that was it, it's working now. I can't believe it. It's a very simple fix on this occasion. Normally I spend hours and hours on these things trying to get them to work. So the next thing to do will be to give it a quick clean up on the inside, because everything else looks okay. All the caps seem to be alright. And we'll pop it back together and give it a clean up. Quick look at the insides while we're here. I always think that the older stuff made so much better than the later stuff that you see. I work on quite a few things from the 70s and 80s, and as time went on, things started being made in Taiwan and China. The build quality was just lacking. Like I said before, cables were just soldered straight to the boards, making it quite unserviceable, just for the sake of a few pence for a plug. But obviously I suppose that when they're making them in the millions, those few pences all add up into the total cost. That's that cable before that was hiding or holding me back. I said light sensor cable before, I meant light switch. That's for the radio light. Right, time to put it back together now. I'm not going to go too mad on the inside, so it's just had a bit of fluff in there really. to do a proper clean down. The whole thing was completely stripping down and putting back together again. But I don't think that's necessary in this instance. Well, there you go, it's all up and running now, all cleaned. One thing I did notice when I turned it back on after about an hour, I had to adjust the horizontal hold again just to get it to come through. So I don't know how long the cleaning the pots will last. It could actually be that the capacitors are starting to fail, only time will tell. Incidentally, if you're interested in this kind of thing, you may want to consider liking and subscribing to my channel. I'm usually buying something on eBay and testing old gadgets and trying to repair things. That way, if you subscribe, you'll get notifications as and when I upload new videos. Well, I think that's just about it for this video. As always, take care, and until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll be seeing you.